to coverage of the women's all-around final. Iona Krizan is at the end of the vault runway, and if you're just joining us, you will have not heard that Regan Smith, one of the favourites for this competition, is out. She's had an injury in the warm-up gym, so here is her replacement.
And straight in there, the full twist, Yurchenko vault, not the most difficult that we'll see, but at this late stage of replacement, a good solid start.
She follows Ellie Black, who started the competition on vault. She scored a 14.6.
And you see at the end of the runway, the 4.6 means that 14.6 is what this vault is marked out of. The judges will then take deductions, just a single twist. If you add more twists, you get more marks. The little bound back will be a deduction, but it was good, high, well flighted, very nice body shape. Sometimes when you get pitched into something like this unexpectedly, it sometimes can work in your favour. You haven't got all worked up, you just go out and perform.
And bearing in mind, she's a replacement because she was outside of the top 24, finishing, you know, a few places outside of there. She's the second replacement that's come into this, and she's gone into the top group to replace Regan Smith. I mean, what company she's amongst.
I was going to say, it's quite a daunting task regardless. So she was down in 26. You don't expect that to happen.
13.566 by vault. Maya Murakami from Japan, 6th in the all-around World Championships a few years ago. 14th in the all-round competition at the Olympics, but the highest qualifier here.
And this is very important and beautifully performed. Not a flicker on landing, right down the middle. They have to make deductions from 10, but there didn't look very much to take off of that from me.
And again, opting for the Yurchenko entry. Straight arms on top, that's what the judges are looking for, the block. It had super lift off the top. Just watch there. That's the round off. Blocks back with straight arms. So no deduction there. High, double twist, straight in the middle.
Great confident style that she has, and of course looking to replicate the performance that she had in qualification, because she went round, it's known as clean, when you can get through all your routines and catch what you need to catch and get through without the fall. So that's the plan for Murakami.
You can see very quickly getting herself ready to put her handguards on. This will be a quick competition. 6 in each group, all 4 pieces working at once.
It would be nice to see a Japanese gymnast take the women's title. It'll have been some years, Chris, before that's happened, won't it?
I can't think we've ever had a Japanese gymnast win the all-around. However, of course, they've dominated the men's for years and years with Uchimura, but he didn't compete last night, and they lost their spot at the top. China 1 and 2 in the men's competition last night, so it would be a real sea change to see the Japanese women leading the way.
Well, she's gone ahead of Ellie Black with a score of 14.666. Murakami leads this women's all-around competition at this stage. Still 3 gymnasts to go on vault before they can move on. This, Morgan Hurd.
A slight gymnast, but very powerful leg, long on the double twist Yurchenko. A little bit of adjustment on the landing, not just the same height as Murakami, but equally as long. A good solid start.
Well, Japan have been dominant for the men over the years, but USA have really held the power in women's gymnastics. Long time since we haven't had an all-around champion from USA, and that legacy is firmly resting on the shoulders of this very young and inexperienced gymnast tonight. Lovely double twist though, beautiful form, bounce backwards.
An interesting vault compared to the one before. She blocks really late on the back of the table. Lots of gymnasts try and get into the table a lot sooner for the height, and I think that's why it made her vault a little bit longer.
There is or deductions for lack of height and lack of length.
14.533. Morgan Hurd gets her first World Championships off to a flying start. Lena Eremina from Russia. She was 4th in the all-around at the last European Championships. Is this her day for a world medal?
Well, this isn't her best piece. Bars are her best piece, but she'll want a solid, efficient start. Very nice, 1.5 twist. Not quite as difficult as the double, so it carries a lower tariff, but she performed that very well. Not much to take off.
Beautiful execution. She seemed to float through that one.
I'm going to say, yeah, again, 5-4 difficulty. Just a little bit of flicker in the knees, landing a little bit too soon. We can see here, just watch. And the judges will definitely pick up on this. Good execution there, but you can see a loss of form in the 1.5 twist. The landing was really well executed. Look again, good block in the middle of the horse. That will be deductible, and it's a lower start value. But not bad for one of her weaker piece of apparatus.
She's a real classical Russian gymnast.
Well, in the meantime, there's a big score gone in on bars, 14.966 from Nina Derwell.
European champion on bars. That is her big piece, so she must have worked very well. We only have had, I think, 3 gymnasts in the 15s on bars, so at 14.9, that's right up there.
Those of you back in the UK who are watching this, I'll let you know that Amy Tinkler has gone through her beam routine. That major deduction. Just waiting for her score to come in. But she's got through the routine.
And I think this competition will be decided on that piece of apparatus. So difficult.
And very aggressively judged.
13.866 puts Emery. 13.866 puts Eremina in 5th. Next to go, Melanie Jesus dos Santos, 17 years old, 3rd at the all-around at the Euros.
Such a powerful gymnast. Again, another Yurchenko, wraps in, double twist. Slight hop back on landing, which will be deducted, but the rest of the vault was very clean, very sharp. Such a powerful gymnast. 4th in qualification, and will want to go one better, at least.
She blocks beautifully high. Very clean, legs locked together. She just stayed inside the lines. You have to land on the white, inside that white corridor, to not be heavily deducted. You can see she manages to hop back onto the red line. But it's very fast off the top. You can see she hits immediately, but she piked down more than she needed, and that meant she had a big hop back.
14.466. Dos Santos, her first piece of apparatus, sees her in 6th. That's just 0.2 between the first 4 good vaulters here. Very, very close indeed. Amy Tinkler scored 12.166. Go well. Best piece of apparatus here.
Lovely high Kachev. Watch this now. She catches with a turn and then goes straight down to the low bar with another half turn. Up to the high bar. She's linking these difficult skills, and that's a full turning pack salto Full turn from one bar to the next. Very smoothly back with the half turn. Full pirouette, you have to have that in, and it's straight into the full twisting double back. That's how you work bars.
A superb display. Taking all the tenths that she can get.
This is a really intricate work with the half turn down to the low bar. The way she can transition from one bar to the other builds the difficulty. Full turn, straight into the full twisting double back dismount. That is a great performance.
14.966 for the bar's European champion. She's in the lead.
And that's impressive. Vault is usually the piece that tops the scoreboard. So if you can produce that sort of score on something other than vault, you're really doing something right.
Lara Moi from Italy on floor. She has qualified for the floor final, this gymnast. She scored 13.5.
Italy quite renowned for their floor workers. 2 gymnasts from Italy in floor final, and they're not in any other finals other than this all-around competition.
Following in the footsteps of Vanessa Ferrari, world champion.
Who's here actually, and on floor final as well. So we'll get a chance to see her later in the week.
Starts off with the choreography. She's a powerful gymnast. There you can see the double layout. So that's one of the requirements, the leap series. Just control this spin. Good on the spin. Now works into this 2.5 straight front. Did well to stay inside the floor there. Good control. Seen lots of gymnasts struggling to stay inside the 12-metre square in these championships. Lifts up, pulling back out. Working well with the music. Gymnasts have really got to sell the routine to the judges. It's not just about the big tumbles. It's a final tumble, triple twist. Well, a very solid routine. Great start to the competition.
Yeah, over to vault next for her. 13 scored.
And floor is a piece that's difficult to get big scores on.
Julia Steingruber now on bars.
And this isn't an apparatus that Steingruber's renowned for. She's become solid on it, and you see nice flight from the low bar up to the high and back again, and with a half turn. It's a good handstand. Pirouette just a tiny bit late into a Ginger split of the legs, and that's where the deductions come. But she's a really consistent performer. Nice double front there. You have to swing forwards as well as backwards. Not a virtuoso performance, but a workmanlike performance there.
She's through, and her finest pieces are floor and vault, where she'll build her score, but not too many major deductions, Greg.
No, it was definitely very businesslike. A little bit late on some of the turns, but exactly. This is not one of her favoured pieces of apparatus. That's the Ginger somersault, and she caught very close to the bar, split the legs, which the judges will pick up on. There's a forward long swing. Very difficult dismount, the double front somersault with the blind landing. But she'll be pleased to get through that with her better pieces to come.
She certainly looks happy with that.
There's one more gymnast to go on bars, and that's Melnikova. But the highest score we've seen in the first rotation so far is 14.966. So Nina Durwell leads this competition ahead of Murakami from Japan. And then Elizabeth Black is currently in third with a score of 14.6.
And the Russian team totally dominant on bars this championships. They really posted the highest scores with ease, and actually Melnikova was the third highest of them, only 2 allowed in the final, so we won't see her in bars final, so it will be a treat to see her again today.
Yeah, disappointed in the all-around, and I think she'll really want to make amends.
12.933 for Steingruber, she's in 13th. Amy Tinkler in 17th. With a score of 12.16. We're going to stay on bars for now. Angelina Melnikova, 17 years old, qualified in 10th place. This women's all-around final. And she scored 14.966 on bars. So she could challenge at this stage, certainly. Going for a top spot place here.
Wants to start on the low bar, straight into the full turn. Beautiful line in the handstand, and the flight transition to the top bar and back down again. Coach just hovering underneath the bars. Back to the top bar with the half turn. Locked solid in the handstand. Difficult in the stoop turn. Nice pike Jaeger somersault. In half turn, up, and a little bit short there, had to take an extra swing. Winds up, full twist in the dismount, errors in that routine, she'll be disappointed. She could not recreate the performance from qualification.
Yeah, the hardened gymnastics fans will have noticed, Chris, there was an extra swing, but for those who may be not as experienced, wouldn't have known what went wrong there.
No, well, very first off, she didn't link her first 2 moves. And this here, she's meant to do a toe on and off with full turn, and she missed it. She only made a half turn. She covered it up really well and carried on. But it will affect her difficulty level. Her very first move is a full pirouette, and it usually goes straight into the move to the top bar, and she had to take an extra upstart handstand, so she'll be down a little bit.
Nina Durwell, 14.966, leads this competition, and she would have felt threatened by Melnikova, but her lead is safe for now.
Yeah, Melnikova will still score well. It's beautiful bar work, especially the stoop in, when you don't put your feet on and you stoop your feet in between your hands. That's very well coded, and she uses that 3 times. You're not allowed to use any one root skill like that more than 3 times, but she uses it to the maximum. A very beautiful gymnast, but one that often fails to go clean. They all look very relieved to have just got their competition underway without major mistakes,
Yeah,
without falls.
I'm going to say this is a gymnast that we see so much potential, but yet on the big stage just fails to realise that potential.
And again, I mean, I was talking with Beth earlier on about the changes to the new code, so all gymnasts just trying to adapt and change their routines to make the most of the difficulty that they can pack in, and you know, marry that difficulty with what they're capable of from an execution scope.
Absolutely. At the end of each Olympic cycle, we have a change.
13.775 sees Melnikova in 8th for now after her first piece.
Well, they hammered that. She was obviously well down on difficulty.
Fan Yan from China, the last gymnast to go on beam. She was 5th the World Championships in 2015 on this piece, but she did fall earlier. And it's happened again.
She went for a big mount. It's always difficult. The big mounts have been increased in difficulty, so a lot of gymnasts are trying to use them to get their difficulty score up, but it's always a fairly hazardous way to start. Oh, and another big wobble. She started with the front summy on and then the front summy along. Both of them a bit costly. It's a little bit better. You have to include 2 leaps. And she manages that. You can see a big pause for another difficult skill coming here. Oh, and that's a second fall. The only Chinese woman in the all-around competition. Beam's always a difficult apparatus to start on, and she's looking very vulnerable indeed. That's better with the big leap, taking the head back. Another of the elements you have to include, a 360-degree spin. But not only is she wobbling, but she's really pausing. And the judges will have a field day here with the deductions. You have to keep the rhythm going. Can't wait to get off, I imagine. Round off, double twist. Not the most difficult dismount, and that will be a very costly routine.
There you can see, it's not a good start. Front somersault, going for the difficult combinations and the difficult elements. Also increases the risk. 2 falls, that's 2 full marks from the score. And like you said there, Chris, the rhythm and the tempo of the routine, it really just did upset her. Never really settled in. And there's the score, 10.2 for Wang Yang on the beam.
And that completes this rotation. So we'll have confirmation of the leaderboard.
See the gymnasts warming up their next piece. Everyone allotted 30 seconds.
Brooklyn Moores on beam.
And a very good, secure front somersault mount. Smoothly into the leap series, the change leg into the change leg half. Have to have a leap series, have to do work close to the beam as well, and that was an interesting Valdez. Oh, and that's super, handspring into the front somersault. That will be her acrobatic series. Quite different work, this. And you can see here she's working with good rhythm. Just a little bit of loss of body tension and a wobble. Quite a challenge amongst all the noise to keep your concentration. Leap into the side somersault. These are the bonus points. If you leap 2 moves like that, you can get a bonus. Very expressive with the arms. She is a very expressive and well-extended gymnast, and that's very interesting. The handspring straight front with 1.5 twist.
Brooklyn Moores, 12.266. She's in 18th.
Beam has really been low scoring.
So there's confirmation of the leaderboard after the first piece of apparatus. Nina Derwell leads the competition after that super bars routine. Maya Murakami, she's in that silver medal place at the moment. Elizabeth Black currently in 3rd. Further down the board, Hara from Japan in 11th, Steingruber 14th. There's Amy Tinkler in 19th. Ana Perez from Spain rounds off the top 24. 3 pieces to go then. The gymnasts have rotated, they've warmed up and they're ready to go. Beth Tweddle joins us now in the commentary box. What do you make of the first piece, Beth?
It's been a close one. I mean, the vaulters, as we expected, they've all gone through, but looking around the rest of the competition, there's been quite a few falls, so it's going to be right down to the last routine for the top group and then fighting it out for who can stay on the pieces for the bottom half.
As we saw there, Amy Tinkler's group are on the floor. Here are the gymnasts warming up on beam. So Nina Derwell, the leader at the moment, will be the first to go on this piece of apparatus. Was 7th in the all-round at the European Championships. Over to bars. Stand-in will be first to go. San. Cami will be second up. She's currently in 2nd place. Eromina, Ellie Black, the Canadian gymnast, will be last to go. You just see her there, choking up the bar. To vault, Georgia Goodwin. Marine Boyer, France in that group too.
The gymnasts drop down. We saw Ellie Black open the competition. So if she worked first, when they go to the next piece, she drops to the end. And that way nobody has to keep being first up. So the only problem is it's a long wait. She was first on vault and now she'll be the last person on bars.
Would you expect her to go out into the training gym, Beth? Would you?
No. During the all-around competition, they'll all stay on the floor, and it is a battle. Sometimes going up first is can be an advantage. You get your routine done, you're settled, whereas actually having to wait till that 6th person, doing your 30-second touch, you then maybe have 20-25 minutes wait before you get your piece. But if you're going up first as well, you don't necessarily want to go all out in the warm-up because you tire yourself out. So sat in the middle of the pack, sort of 3rd, is a nice place to be.
So we're starting this rotation on vault with Georgia Goodwin from Australia.
So powerful gymnast, runs down that vault run, using the Sukahara with a full twist, good clean landing on great 2nd piece for her.
Well, she scored 13.495 in qualification.
The only gymnast in the final from Australia. They're very much going in a building period. And got a new national coach.
Pressure is on for beam, and the leader at this stage, Nina Derwell. She scored a 12.333 in qualification in this piece.
Oh, and she just holds on to that very difficult mount. And now her series. Oh, and she doesn't manage to hold on to that. That's a great shame. The gymnasts in this championships, we've seen so many of them fall from beam. And you know, in training, they will do these routines over and over, perhaps 10 a day. That was a lovely free walkover into split jump. She's a very elegant gymnast, long-limbed. But she's not probably used to seeing her name at the top of the leaderboard. That is super, that spin, that crouch spin. Very well rewarded. It's worth quite a lot of points. And nice work low to the beam. And there's the double. She's used it as a triple and a double. That's allowed. You can do double spins and triple spins. You have to show leaps that hit splits. You have to show backward elements, forwards, sideways, and a little bit of dance going sideways. And there she is, fulfilling all the requirements of the judges. And you can hear the bell there saying she's got 10 seconds to dismount. She does, with a full twisting Straight gainer somersault, but her body language says it all. Disappointment.
So much difficulty packed into that routine, and to falter where she did, I mean, oh, she's just absolutely deflated, Beth.
She is, but she did well to get back up. You can see here doing the squat spin, high up on the releve, and all the way round for the triple. The full twist off the end. Some gymnasts are really starting to move away from the round off dismount and preferring to use this gainer dismount. Such an elegant gymnast, but the judges are really marking hard on beam. They are taking off for everything. The height, the body alignment, the releve on their toes. So you can see the disappointment in her face.
Georgia Goodwin scores 13.266 for vault. Second, as it stands, but a lot of gymnastics still to go in this rotation. But always nice to have your name up there on the leaderboard. Maya Murakami, 21 years old. What a start for her on vault.
This is probably the apparatus that she's got the lowest start score on. This is the piece she really needs to go through clean, because she hasn't got the scoring potential here in quite the same way as some of the others.
She hasn't, and the Japanese are known for doing very well executed bar routines, so even though the difficulty might be slightly lower for her, we will expect to see great execution, which will keep that score up.
Waiting for the judges to be ready. All set.
She is known for her floor and vault work, very powerful gymnast. But during qualification just went through steady on bars and beam, which is what we were talking about earlier. It's all about consistency in the all-around competition.
Yeah, if you can get through those pieces that maybe you're not so confident with, then you can use all of that flair and that extra difficulty to really bump up your all-around score. Tanina Durwell, we're going to have a score from her. That's 11.633. Says that she's still in the lead, but...
See the coach going through where it all went wrong.
Telling her to forget about it now. There is nothing she can do about it, and a lot of gymnasts are falling on this piece of apparatus, so who knows?
Next, apparatus mentality. Leave it behind and move on if you can. Oh, what's the delay here?
This is always the hardest bit when you're sat waiting. Obviously, we didn't actually see, you can see on the board, the Romanian gymnast went up first, so we haven't seen her routine. Whether she's had a problem with it and it's causing the judges to debate over the start difficulty score or the execution. But she's taking her time, she's making sure the bar's fully prepared. Every gymnast has the bars different. Some gymnasts will wear hand guards and like it chalked up. Some gymnasts would prefer just water, maybe a bit of honey on the bar.
She's obviously got a little bit of a routine, hasn't she? Because she's done it twice now, waiting for them to be ready for her.
What did you have in your squirty bottle, Beth?
Just water. Sometimes it just gives it a little bit more grip. So she has done it twice, but it's probably just to make sure it's still wet.
Maya Murakami is ready. The judges are ready. I'm saying that. We assumed there were because the graphic came up, but we'll just wait a little bit longer.
The score's in.
Maya Murakami currently in second place in this women's all-around final. Doing her best to remain as calm as she can.
Good start. Up start handstand into the toe on, straight up to the top bar, slight less leg form loss, into the ginger, big connection there, building up the difficulty. And there's the blind change into the Jaeger salto. Quick hop of the hands, looking for another release and catch, nice and high. There's the full turn that's required, straight down to the low bar, back up to the high bar, getting ready to finish the routine with a big dismount, winds up for it. and uses the full twisting double back and a good landing.
Oh.
A great way to do your piece that's not your strongest.
Well, Cami looks like the one to beat, Chris.
She looks like she means business. I mean, it wasn't a great routine. There were places that the judges will be able to deduct. But she, particularly the shoot up right at the end. But yeah, she wasn't giving up. She's waited for this moment. Very nice dismount, isn't it? Double back with full twist, nice and high and long.
I like her style, Beth.
I do. It's not obviously maybe the traditional style, but on that piece of apparatus, she was a grafter. She wasn't giving in, like Christine was saying, and she actually scored a 13.9 in qualification, so actually it's not a bad score at all, and we'll just have to wait and see what that comes out with.
To beam, Tabia out. Be the third gymnast to go in this rotation on beam. She's in the beam final. She can't half-work this piece of apparatus. The highest qualifier with a score of 13.533.
And that
Lords.
was very solid and confident. She's a gymnast that's promised much, Tabia Alt. And that was a good start. Free cartwheel into the layout somersault. Good spin. She needs to keep her rhythm. One leap, the second leap, cleanly round. Oh, free walkover, but she allowed the hips to twist on landing. When you're nervous on the beam, it's easy to go slow and lose that rhythm. And really, you need to keep pushing along, keep working. Very ambitious leap there. She took her head right back. You lose sight of the beam and then have to recover. Little shorter splits, but a good, secure side somersault. All the gymnasts know that the judging is very severe on beam, and it almost seems to have made them a bit jittery. Here we come, big round off double tuck. She's safely through.
The smile says a lot there.
It does.
And so does the hug.
The sense of relief for any gymnast when they come off beam, having completed a clean routine, is amazing.
Cami is into the lead, 13.8. That'll do nicely.
She'll be happy, yeah.
Beam will be next for her. The last gymnast to go on bars, Ellie Black. Morgan Hurd now on bars. She's in fourth at the moment.
This young gymnast had a great start with the double twist on Bolt, and here we are, the full turn from the stoop straight into the catcher, building her difficulty by linking those two elements. There's another big high release straight down to the low bar. Then straight back up to the high bar. You can just see the coaches standing there just in case. There's the stoop into the half turn. Just the forward giant to get the special requirement. Full turn. And finishes with the full twisting double back with a great landing.
Oh, she's sick
Nothing's
to it through that
phasing
routine.
her.
And there's a flicker of enjoyment there, Chris, as well.
There is. She looks very relieved. I was in the World Cup event in Stuttgart with her when I went with Alice Kinsella earlier in the year, and it was her first senior international for USA, and she was very inexperienced. She played safe a little bit there, brought it in close and caught with bent arms. The judges will have a little bit of a deduction there, but it was a very good, strong, you could really see her willing herself through to the very end. Very determined. And she's progressed a lot since I saw her in Stuttgart back in March. gained in confidence, tied it up. See the glasses secured with elastic behind the head.
Tabia Alt goes into second, 13.3. And the way they're judging today, that's a very, very good score.
And she's had the two difficult pieces, the two pieces, bars and beam, that it's very easy to make mistakes on, and she's clean. So she should do well today.
Morgan Hurd goes into the lead, 14.3 for bars. Beam next for this top group. Switch the focus quickly. Aramina in Russia, 5th highest qualifier, was in 7th place after the first piece. She is with her second of 4 pieces.
Now just watch this. The Kachev immediate pack, and it's all in a straight line, but she missed the stalder. She had to bend her legs to make it work. Nice sharp half there. She shows a lovely handstand shape. Stoop with half turn. Such a high front somersault above the bar. Good swing turn. Into the full pirouette, into the full twisting dismount. But she had a break of form in the middle. And it wasn't quite the same level of fluency that she showed in qualification.
Both the Russian routines, unfortunately, haven't shown that elegance and that grace and performance that we saw in qualification. So it'll be interesting to see how harshly the judges go with that. Obviously, we saw Melnikova come right down here. The stoop with the turn. Great form going into this release and catch. The big Jaeger comes in very close to the bar, so has to bend the arms. Judges will be looking for that. The full turn going straight into the dismount. And it looked like the floor hit her rather than her looking for that landing.
Well, we said this competition could go anywhere to anyone. And it's jittery out there, that's for sure.
Yep, nearly all of the gymnasts have pulled their releases in close, haven't they? They haven't wanted to fly away and miss the bar. Better to take the small deduction for bending your arms on catching.
Well, Amy Tinkler has been on floor. Hopefully our friends in Canadian television will bring us that routine on tape in a moment while the gymnasts rotate. But if you want the spoiler, I can tell you the score. If not, put your fingers in your ears now. It's 13.333.
And that's a good score. That's a good score for floor. So the judges are having a good long think about this score on bars.
Jelena Melnikova waiting for the signal so that she can start her beam routine. Up she goes, 17 years old. She scored 12.6 qualification.
A nice simple mount to get the routine started. Straight into this low spin. That was meant to be a double, so she's come out early of that, so the difficulty will be down on it. There's the free walkover. 2 jumps linked together. Here's the spin with the leg up. Straight into the backspin, just a slight pause between the 2 elements. The change leg ring, very difficult, having to take your head away from the sides of beam. Builds up to a acrobatic series that they have to show. The flick, into the straight back. Well fought. And there's the front somersault. The gymnasts have to count 8 elements on the apparatus, keeping the rhythm going throughout the routine. And there's the side salto. They have to show a acrobatic element going backwards and one either forwards or sideways. And then builds up for the dismount. See the concentration, the round off into the double pike, and a very clean landing. A great routine.
Good rescue mission at the start.
There was a good rescue mission at the start, and yeah, actually good to see, because Meldakova is often either brilliant or terrible, and that wasn't. That was in the middle, that she fought. She didn't just give up on things. Every element she does beautifully. Like that side summy was textbook. And the dismount that we're going to see here is really one of the best you'll see. Leaves with lovely straight legs, pulls the pike in, opens out so the chest's up. All her elements are great. She just very rarely strings them all together. So that was pleasing.
Well, she was in 8th after the first piece. So, having got out the way, the very jittery beam, then no doubt she'll be feeling very, very relieved. Armina goes into 3rd place, 14-2.
15-1 in qualification. That was the piece she needed to make the marks up on.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to call, isn't it? Even at this stage.
It is.
We're almost halfway around, and, well...
Those who've done bars and beam already have got those 2 pieces out the way. So, you know, they should be able to relax and enjoy their floors a little bit more.
Morgan Hurd is looking good.
That top group have got the challenge now. That's the piece where you do tend to win or lose a world title, and obviously they're heading over to beam now. We've seen a few gymnasts come a cropper on it, but...
So the last gymnast to go bars in this rotation is Elizabeth Black from Canada. She has the support and the focus of everybody here in the Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
She has the experience, she has to bring it all to the table now. Flies up to that high bar. Oh, and that is a very difficult combination. She's managed it well. Here's the second one. 2 big releases, clean hop. Jaeger, so that's her 3rd release, and she's managed to link it to the pack salto. She's building her difficulty well. The half turn, she's back up to the high bar, just needs to be strong on the finish. The pirouette was good. Here comes the finish. Front somersault with half turn. You can hear from the crowd, that was a great performance from Ellie Black.
It was crammed with difficulty, and she's through it.
She's really improved on bars. She's added lots of release and catches in there, but not just adding those releases. It's got a lot of amplitude in them. The hop change into the Jaeger, very cleanly done. And there was a lot of pressure on her then. She had to wait till she was going up last. There you can see a good clean catch, straight down into the pack, looking for that low bar. And here's the Jaeger from a different angle, straight into that pack. Just a slight leg separation, but minimal deduction throughout this routine. And there's the full turn that they have to show. And then opting for maybe a more simpler dismount than other gymnasts, but a very well executed one.
One of the changes on this new judging system is that you don't necessarily have to finish with a big dismount. It does have to be included in your 8 moves, so you don't want too simple a dismount, but you don't have to have a big one.
Well, there's the gymnast that is currently in the lead, Morgan Hurd from the USA. Something over 14-2 would see Elizabeth Black challenger. Is it going to be over 14-2, that bars routine?
No, I don't think so. No.
I don't think so.
No. I think a high.
She scored 14.4 in qualification.
Did
yeah.
she? Oh. Maybe then.
This crowd would love to see her on top of the leaderboard. She is on top of the leaderboard. 14.233 for Elizabeth Black, who leads the field nearly halfway round.
Well done, Matt. Your judging is becoming impeccable.
And she has actually qualified for beam final quite high up the ranks, so she knows she's got the potential on that piece of apparatus. It's just all about keeping the composure now.
Melanie Jesus dos Santos.
Another very exciting young gymnast from France. Stoop in, that difficult move. She uprises, stoop in to the Kachev. That's one of the most difficult moves you can do. Very crisp. Down to the low bar. Lovely half turn, really floats and flies. And using that stoop action again, she's done it 3 times now, can't anymore. Oh, and that is a bit of an exit. The full pirouette went a different way to usual. But here comes a big, very nice dismount, double straight with full twist. She had to use a little bit of an exit, but it was seamless, really.
Most gymnasts will be taught that exit. She will have done that routine so many times in competition.
14 scored, puts her in joint third with Murakami. And we have a tie in first place as well with Elizabeth Black and Morgan Hurd. This couldn't be any closer.
Tie for first, tie for third,
Yep.
Goodness me.
We knew it was going to be tight.
Well, there'll be every opportunity to get separated on the beam.
There will.
Just 0.3 separating the first 5 gymnasts. So Black and Hurd tie, as do Jesus dos Santos and Murakami. Cover now in 11th, 12.433.
For a reasonably solid beam, you see the scores are really quite low. Majority are 12.
Is that
possibly
good?
30.
I mean, you know, with the new code, is that a good thing for gymnasts, or is it a little bit deflating to do all that and get a very
I think it's been quite deflating, don't you, Beth?
I think yeah, I mean, obviously the gymnasts in the last cycle, for a lot of them, might be the first time they've been judged internationally. But the scores, they'll get used to the cycle, the code.
Daya Santos from Brazil. She's in the floor final. She qualified 6th.
The Brazilians are known for their powerful routines. Here she starts, round off lick, 1.5, into the double Arabian, a superb opening tumble. Brazil unfortunately lost one of their gymnasts whilst they were out here, had an injury, so she's the only competitor. The whip into the triple twist, just slightly short on that landing. The change leg ring, big high leaps into the change leg half, and now gets her chance to show her personality off. Builds up for the third tumble. Uses the full twisting double back. Very difficult tumble to be using third. Has to show a combination of leaps and tumbles throughout this routine. And there's the double pike to finish. A great great routine from the Brazilian, just that small step forward on the triple twist.
Very nice routine. Really difficult tumbles. Very difficult first tumble, Beth. One that you used to do, I think.
13.566. So the gymnasts rotate to their third piece of apparatus. Ellie Black leads this competition alongside Morgan Hurd. There's a tie for first at the moment. Jesus dos Santos and Maya Murakami tie for third. Great Britain's Amy Tinkler on floor now.
And Amy, of course, bronze medalist on floor at the Olympics. Lovely, powerful jump to start. And known for her fantastic tumbling. Watch the power. Double straight with full twist. Very well landed. Smoothly into another very difficult tumble. Double twisting, double tuck. She lands so efficiently, Amy. This the series of leaps that have to be included. Sharp dance, mirroring the music. Straight front, full twisting front. You have to have a forward tumble nowadays. The 8 elements, at least 3 have to be as spins or leaps. We've had great tumbling so far from Amy. Needs a big finish. Here it comes, double pike somersault. Very secure.
What a performance after a relatively short period of training going into this World Championships. And a 13.333 for the Olympic bronze medalist. She moves up from 19th.
Yes, and Amy, since we last saw her in the Grand Prix at the O2, has had an ankle operation.
So Elizabeth Black ties with Morgan Hurd after 2 pieces of apparatus. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos also ties with Murakami from Japan. And Amina in 5th. Tabia out in 6th. See Amy Tinkler there has moved up from 19th to 16th now. Brooklyn Moores from Canada in 15th. The lower end of the leaderboard. Steingruber 17th. Iona Crisan, Romanian replacement, in 21st place. And Ana Perez from Spain in 24th. So the top group go to beam. Amy Tinkler's now over on vault. These are the gymnasts competing on bars. Mara Mori starts things off from Italy.
And each gymnast has a 30-second touch. You actually get 50 seconds on the bars because there needs to be a little bit of adjustment from one gymnast to the next.
Amy Tinkler, the first gymnast to go on vault. Wonder how that ankle will hold up.
Yeah, she had an operation on it and she's come back amazingly quickly. But I think the injury is good. It's just the fact that she's been left a little bit short of training and of fitness. But she's done fantastically.
Across to floor. Polinska starts things off from Ukraine. Steingruber, great piece for her. You watch her move up the rankings. She's in 18th at the moment, Steingruber, but be sure to see her rise from there. Murakami doesn't have long to wait now to find out what beam has in store for her. She's in 3rd. Morgan Hurd will be the 2nd gymnast to go. Bit of a weight for Jesus dos Santos.
Interesting to see how the pressure for this leading group go into the beam. It's difficult at the best of times, let alone knowing that your current joint leader. So first up for Japan, Mai Murakami.
And she has managed the mount very nicely, a change leg leap mount. Needs to be settled now. Strong pike front somersault, just a little wobble at the end of it. The all-important acrobatic series, the backflip, the layout somersault. Just showing a little hint of nerves. Good attempt at the ring position in the leap. Solid with that free cartwheel. Oh, but the double spin you could see was off from the beginning. She just didn't set it up. It's very difficult, the double spin, very well rewarded. That was very nice, the free walk over into the two jumps. She's got a good rhythm on the apparatus, actually. Quite a lot of the deductions for the gymnasts are rhythm deductions, whereas she keeps moving well. However, 1 mark deduction for the fall. Here comes the dismount, needs to concentrate. Good double pike, what a costly double spin there. She just rushed it. You can see on her face.
Well, what a shame for that performance, because it did have a good rhythm from start to finish, and a fall like that, 1 mark, can certainly take you out of the competition. Good acrobatic skills. That's a very difficult blind landing there. Good on the jumps. Yeah, solid there. And the big dismount. There we can see. Not many double pikes performed in this competition. But unfortunately, that fall will cost her her spot on the podium. This will be the real test of apparatus for this group, without a doubt. And she'll know now.
She's still got her big apparatus to come. She qualified top on the floor, so she knows she can claw stuff back, but 1 whole mark to come back from is a big ask.
Yeah, I almost think that if you're going to do beam, it's probably the first piece to get it out the way and you can relax in.
I think the best rotation is to do bars, then beam. You get yourself started and you're at your maximum concentration, bars and beam, and then you've got floor and vault.
What a shame. 12 scored for Murakami.
So these gymnasts following one to the other.
Morgan Hurd tying for first place at the moment. This is her 3rd piece.
Let's see how she can cope with the pressure. You see she's almost talking to herself. Come on, come on. That is a hugely difficult standing full twisting back somersault. Spots the beam well. And again. Oh, this has got a good rhythm. This will be the acrobatic series. Flick, layout, slight adjustment, but stayed on. And again, did well, just needs to settle now. There's the jump combination. Front somersault. Slight adjustment, but stayed on. That's the key. in the spin. A nice choreographed routine. Good there on the leap, head right back. Very difficult. She must concentrate now for the dismount. Strong, big dismount, full twisting double bike. Well, what a performance from the young American under such pressure.
A massive dismount, absolutely huge. And I tell you what, Chris, she packed it with difficulty.
She packed it and she fought very, very hard. Like, she could have fallen off 2 or 3 times there. And you could see her really fight. Nothing was quite perfect. She had to really correct herself as she landed, but the dismount does set her apart, and there's a lot of marks given for the dismount, so this means that her difficulty score is really quite high. She'll also be deducted for the fact that she's chest is low on landing, but the full twisting double back she's the only gymnast in the competition doing that.
Second highest qualifier on beam. She scored 13.5. Amy Tinkler on vault. Amy's in 16th place at the moment.
Strong vaulter, Amy. Big round off, lovely double twist, very well landed.
14.4 scored for Amy.
Very happy with that performance.
And there's your husband as well, Chris.
He looks happy as well. Yeah.
He always looks happy, though, to be fair.
On the competition floor, it's where he enjoys himself.
Somebody else who's looking happy.
I'm going to say
I'm not surprised after getting that beam out the way.
Yeah, that is the nightmare piece for the girls, just to get out there. And she performed exceptionally well there, under that pressure with such a difficult routine.
And actually under the pressure of going almost against the home crowd here, because she's tying with a Canadian gymnast, Ellie Black, for that gold medal position at the moment. 12.666.
So that score reflected the wobbles.
Boyer of France over on bars. 17 years old. She was 16th in the all-round competition at the European Championships.
To start on the low bar. A little bit late on the full turn there. Must hit the handstands. That was better. Transfers well to the top bar, and again down. And just didn't pitch her hips forward enough there on the shoot to the top bar. I think she was a bit surprised, as we were. So 30 seconds to finish, to get back on. That's very costly, 1 full mark. So you can see there. There's the hecht. Feet pitched just a bit too much to the vertical, and you wouldn't expect that at all. But she's got to finish off. Back to the high bar, into the forward, pike Jaeger somersault, that's better. A bit late again on the half turn there. Full twist into the double bike. Well, that is a very disappointing performance. Marine Boyer of France.
It can be quite a nasty fall, that, actually. As you could see, she was coming down, and gymnasts, if they're not careful, can put their hands down and get quite injured on the arms. But she recovered well from it. But you have to rotate. You have to go forwards as well as up. And she just went up, didn't she? You could see.
I think it was just sheer shock, as much as we were. You expect them to miss the big releases, but something as simple as that, the transfer from the low to the high bar, is probably something that she never misses in training.
They do miss it a bit because they're always, it's one of those moves that loses you a lot of marks if you don't do it well. So they're always trying to do it big.
Smith sights over on vault.
And a very powerful gymnast, Elizabeth Seitz, best known for her bar work, but that's a very well controlled full twisting straight Yushenko. The Yushenko bit's the flip on.
Yeah, there you can see plenty of height and extension, executed well, but unfortunately not the difficulty she'll need in this final if she wants to challenge.
Sides moves up from 18th, 13.7. .066 for Marine Boyer. I tell you that Amy Tinkler has scored 14.4 for vault. Haven't had confirmation of that yet. Melanie Jesus dos Santos tying for third. She approaches the beam.
Big, strong, solid mount. We've seen a few come to grief, but that was very emphatic. Another solid landing from the front somersault. She's a beautiful gymnast. Here a handstand into backflip, into layout somersault, and you can see she was a little bit off, but because she adjusted herself as she worked, she was able to pull it back on. Some gymnasts have that ability to absorb landings on the beam, readjust if they're a little bit offline. That leap was a little bit short of split, but the free walkover secure and strong. She's an elegant gymnast, doesn't give too much away to the judges in execution. But I don't think they'll say that that ring leap touched the head. Here's the section down low to the beam. Doesn't have to be difficult, but the gymnast does have to show some work onto the beam. She's performed well. Here comes the big, strong double tuck. That will be a decent score. That will keep her in the hunt.
She's through, and that's the main thing.
Well, 13.066 in qualification. She had a few adjustments there, but a few of these ladies are looking a little bit nervy in this rotation, especially in the beam, but this is strong. There you go, the layout, quick adjustment, and it's how quick the gymnast can react to being slightly out of line. This is probably one of the better dismounts we've seen in terms of standing up, shoulders up there, landing to the vertical with the double tuck.
Well, Morgan Hurd leads this competition. Elena Aramina in second. Rukami in third. Brooklyn Moores from Canada introduced to the crowd. 14.166 in qualification for vault.
Well, she's a powerful vaulter. The handspring with the straight front full twist, and unfortunately lost a bit of tension there on the landing. You can see, look, she strikes the vault, a little bit overshoots it, so could be a bit more height, buckles the legs. Disappointing.
Very difficult vault that. You need lots of power.
12.966. The Canadian. She's in ninth as it stands. One more piece for her. That'll be bars. Ellie Black tying for that gold medal position alongside Morgan Hurd. She's seen Morgan Hurd go. Scored a 12.666. So she needs to match it or beat it.
She does indeed. She knows if she stays on, she's capable of beating it. But
what a challenge.
What a challenge. This is one young gymnast who's met the challenge already. Worked very steadily. The judges are still debating the score.
In the meantime, we'll head to vault. Ana Perez looking to vault her way up from the lower end of the leaderboard.
They're wanting to do a powerful vault. That's Yurchenko, double twist. Not enough block, unfortunately, there. Almost kicked back from the floor. You can tell she just crunched her ankles a little bit.
12.833. Talking of vaulting the way up the leaderboard, Amy Tinkler's in 5th at the moment, tying.
Yeah, she's vaulted and done vault and floor very well, Amy.
A lot of deliberation. There was a lot of difficulty in Dos Santos's beam routine, but it wasn't without tenths here and there for execution. Yeah, there's confirmation that Amy Tinkler is in 5th. There's still a few more scores to come in yet. Hopefully she'll be in the top 10. I think that was her aim, really, Chris.
That was really the aim. She's still got bars to do in qualification. She fell on bars, but she'll no doubt be feeling very determined to put that right.
Well, Morgan Hurd has laid down the gauntlet on beam. Just waiting for Dos Santos' score to come in so that her challenger can go.
Like I say, Chris, I think some of the leap, maybe that's what the judges are looking for.
Yeah, there were a couple of leaps that were not questionable. The judges have to decide whether they'll credit them. Well, she seems very animated, Morgan Hurd.
What a poster girl for young American gymnasts.
Yep,
she is.
Absolutely, she is, isn't she?
She, such fun.
It certainly looks like she's really enjoyed the competition. And I think that'll be the big test of the new wave of American gymnasts. How they're going to cope with the likes of Biles not here and coming back to training. And they'll really want to stamp their authority to say, I'm a serious contender. And what better way to do it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's quite a big change of regime in the USA. Marta Karoli has been the, of Romanian descent, has been the leader of the USA team for a lot of years. She retired after Rio, and so Valery Lukin has taken on the head coach's job. So he is, of course, a Russian American.
Brilliant.
So a different
and a world champion
style.
at that.
Oh, absolutely, a different style. Here at Eremina.
Interesting, Eremina, if she'd have matched her bar score, she would be in the lead with a nice little margin.
12.433. Dos Santos.
Yes, they were eagle-eyed, those judges.
Wow. Ellie Black now has to match Morgan Hurd's score of 12.666 on beam. She's tying with the American gymnast. 2 pieces left to go. Look at the focus.
Oh, 2 lovely leaps to start. Change leg, immediate change leg, and then a change leg half. Now this is important. Well performed, double spin. So the dance elements have been performed well. Can the acrobatics be? Lots of determination on that front somersault. Straight back somersault from the backflip. That's the acrobatic series that's needed. The temptation, of course, is to go slower and slower, but she's keeping her pace, keeping her rhythm. See the focus in her eyes. Another front somersault. Well, she hasn't fallen, but once you put the hands on the beam and grasp the apparatus, the deduction is as big. So, all important to have a good dismount, but this opens the door. Double pike dismount, she made it, but I think she's left the door, she's opened the door. I think I'd be surprised if that score can match Morgan Hurd's.
Up until that moment, you could hear every footstep on that beam. It was silent in here, and for her to be able to cope in that situation was quite something, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, she started so strongly there, and in the acrobatic series, the layout, and as you can see, there's a front somersault, and then just that little bit of a mistake, and I think this championships is turning into the championships of what could have been. We've seen quite a few errors, you know, the opportunity. But this is such a very difficult piece of apparatus, the beam. It can be so cruel. A great final pass, the double pike back.
Listen, she'd make history if she got a medal here. So, you know,
yeah.
I know we're talking about the gold medal position here, but what a performance for a Canadian gymnast to be at the World Championships here and be in with a shout of a medal.
I would expect her to be of high 11, low 12, which would sort of leave her still in contention. Morgan Hurd was 12.66 without a fall, so I don't think she'll go as low as 11.66. I think she'll stay in touch.
And Murakami had a fall 12, and don't forget Ellie's very strong on floor, so I think there's still an opportunity out of this group. She's one of the better ones.
12.866. She's in the lead. She's gone ahead of Morgan Hurd.
Well,
I'm very surprised at that score, 12.866.
She's there, and there is the confirmation. Ellie Black ahead of Morgan Hurd. Elena Eremina in third at the moment. Amy Tinkler is tying for 8th.
she's got a high difficulty score. She has got a high start score.
Wow, that's...
I think that'll give her some confidence. She was the top out of that group on the floor in qualification.
Nina Durwell, the leader after the first piece of apparatus. And she is on floor, the last gymnast to go here.
Looks very graceful. Tall, elegant. Double pike. Didn't have the most difficult floor. One and a half into the straight front full twist. One of the requirements. Control that well. Very dramatic. Now that's difficult, the control. Spin on one leg. And that's the combination of leaps. So that's the requirement. Needs to hang on. Stands up into the double tuck. really sells the routine there. Nina Derwell of Belgium.
And the top 10 finish for her would be quite something.
It would, and she sold that routine very well there. Not the most difficult of tumbling. She's not a hugely powerful gymnast, but really beautifully performed, beautifully danced.
Very dramatic performance. Really worked well with the music.
Good technique on the tumbling. You can see good straight arms in the flips, knees locked together in the double tuck. She maximises her score. She gives away as little as possible to the judges. Chest nicely up, and she dances straight out of that landing, which is something the judges really like to see.
Nina Derwell scores 13.366. She's in 7th, pushing Amy Tinkler down into joint 9th with Lara Mori from Italy.
Well, that's a great result for Amy Tinkler. 3 rotations in, 9th in the world off very little training. Should give her bags of confidence.
Just needs a good bars now.
Yeah, should be last to go on bars. Pretty much wrapping up this whole competition. So very, very quickly, the gymnasts are now round and on to their final piece of apparatus in this women's all-around final. And these are how things look at the moment. Ellie Black, Canadian gymnast, leading the field ahead of Morgan Hurd. Alina Aramina currently in that bronze medal position. Amy Tinkler's in 9th alongside Lara Mori from Italy. Great performance from Georgia Goodwin from Australia. She's in 11th as it stands. Marine Boyer down in 16th. Jelena Melnikova not used to being in 21st position. A bit of a shocker on floor. Ana Perez from Spain, after a disaster on vault, is in 24th.
There's certainly been a lot of falls here. And we've actually lost a couple of the favourites to injury over this in the warm-up time.
Oh, I don't know what's happening in the warm-up. I mean, that seems to be the most treacherous of the whole thing here.
Yes, yes. Even for, you know, for us, Great Britain, we lost Alice Kinsella, who competed and qualified for the final, but had got injured during the competition, unable to compete. And then in the warm-up, we saw Larissa Yordaki snap an Achilles. So, and then we've, of course, lost the favourite at this very 11th hour of warm-up, Regan Smith. It really has been a championships where there's been a lot of drama.
There has, and not only within the warm-ups, but out on the field of play as well. Some of the gymnasts you'd be expecting to make finals maybe have come off or not quite scored what they were expecting. I mean, we had the Olympic beam champion who came out and didn't qualify for beam final. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of new faces, I think, up on the podium, which is a good thing for our sport as well. Obviously a great result so far for Ellie Black, and floor is one of her most powerful events, so...
Well, it's containing that power, isn't it?
It is.
Because there's big deductions for stepping out, putting your foot onto that kind of red area that borders the floor.
And this young girl's going to be going up first, so she can get her piece done and then just sit and watch the competition unfold and wait for the result.
Well, we've just seen the 1, 2 and 3. There's 0.5 between them.
Unfortunately, this one didn't have a great qualification on floor, so
no.
We'll have to see if she has one up to difficulty and 2 up the execution. The one thing the Americans are very good at, they perform often in front of big crowds on a podium, so she will be used to that pressure. She will be used to standing there and having to perform like she is tonight, but it's a little bit different competing for your national title compared to competing for a world title.
Sure. So the last piece of apparatus begins with Morgan Hurd, 16 years old, looking to make her mark on the world stage. Her chance here for an all-around medal. But what colour will it be?
Well, the game faces on. Very important first, big, huge, double twisting, double back. Light, fast gymnast. Full twisting, double pike. So we've had 2 massive tumbles. Very nice, smooth music. Here's the big forward tumble, a step out. Good, supple leaps. Well, she's been secure so far. Built up, strong double pike. Very nice performance, cleverly choreographed and dynamic tumbling.
Well, whatever the outcome, it looks like she has thoroughly enjoyed her first World Championships. And I'm sure for her, it will have been character building in many ways, Beth.
It will. I mean, it's the start of a cycle. It's great exposure for her, a great experience to be out there performing under that pressure. For her, it was about containing the energy, and her coach looks very pleased with that routine. Nice to see Ellie congratulating her. Big tumbles for such a small gymnast there. We start with the double twisting, double back, just a step back, but a very well executed tumble. Really showing off her routine.
I love that with the little walk out on the fingertips.
Very flexible gymnast and shows it off well throughout this routine. This was the tumble that she had the problems with in qualification. The straight front into the double twist forwards. Just a small step, but unfortunately just out the floor area, so that will be a 1/10 deduction.
She should have walked the toes out and pretended that was part of the routine.
It's a clever routine, and all those little touches are great. But when you're sat back away, you can't see those touches from with the TV screen. I enjoyed it a lot more than when I looked from the audience the other day.
She looks very pleased with her performance, and as a gymnast, as a coach, that's all you can ask. She's done her job. She's
She has indeed, Beth. She's gone round 4 pieces, no major mistakes. She's very inexperienced.
13.733. That's the benchmark for gold. Lina Eremina in 3rd place at the moment.
Junior European champion. Has stepped up into the senior ranks. Here's the full twisting double back. Good start to the routine. Very nice double spin with the leg up. The full turning split jump. Judges are looking for lots of height and extension in those leaps. And here's the connection tumble, the 1.5 walkout. Really had to fight with that, but did well into the 2.5 twist, into the punch front. Will build up lots of difficulty in the connection. backs, double spin with the leg up. Just looking for this big tumble. There's the triple twist, very good landing. Beautifully executed leaps. The change leg ring into the change leg half, and that's her World Championships over.
What a cracking floor.
Yeah, that was hugely much better than she did in qualification. She's such an attractive gymnast, isn't she? She makes it look easy, she makes it look elegant, and she's grown through this championships.
She scored a 12.8 in qualification, but that routine wasn't anything like qualification. It was so much better.
Interesting to see how it sits alongside Morgan. She scored 13.733.
I don't think she's probably got quite the same level of difficulty. She started with a full twisting double back instead of a double twisting double back. And although this tumble was very nice, the 1.5 walk out into 2.5 punch front, it doesn't carry quite the same bonuses as the big tumbles that Morgan did. But good landings, very good landing. You see this, she lands solidly, just the tiniest of hops. She's a gymnast that whatever she does looks elegant, even when she just waves.
It's nice to see the gymnasts actually throughout this competition have had a lot of personality.
Steingruber on vault.
Here, massive handspring, 1.5. Just not as well as we've seen her perform previously, but still a massive vault.
Yeah, it looked just a little tired, didn't it? She blocks so high, she goes up, 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 and then was just a bit short of rotation. However, wonderfully in line and a huge difficulty score of 5.8.
14.7 for the Olympic bronze medalist on vault. Adamina goes up into second at the moment.
13.6, much improved on qualification.
Second highest, or third highest floor score that we've seen. Melanie Jesus dos Santos, what a competition she has been having. She's in fourth, just outside the medals at the moment.
Now, she also had a little bit of a problem in qualification, but that was a good leap to start. Oh, super tumble, double straight with full twist. And another double back with full twist. Very good, clean landings. This is the series of leaps that have to be included. The forward tumbling that's caught out so many gymnasts at this championships. One of the changes of rules, you now have to have a forward somersault in a tumble run. Nicely performed. Crouch spin. Lift high, powerful, double tuck. Oh, but she nearly buckled at the legs. Very nice, innovative finish. We didn't have a great angle of that last tumble, but it looked like she stepped out and buckled a little bit. I don't think it would be a fall, but a fair deduction.
It's not what you want, is it, when you're in fourth and you're chasing for a medal and you come to your last tumble?
And I think her face says exactly that, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the difficult things I've done today, and something relatively simple at the end.
Yeah, it's such a powerful tumbler though, one for the future, definitely to be watching. And here's the double straight with the full twist. They've got a new style floor out here in Montreal. And then here's the forward tumbling, like Christine was explaining. All gymnasts have to show that, but we've seen many gymnasts actually pick up their biggest deductions on that tumble. And then just here, the double tuck, and then just manage to hold it, but just steps out.
Sugahara on vault. She did well on floor, actually. She had the highest score here, 13.833, so we'll see a lot of those skills, no doubt, here on vault.
Using the Yurchenko entry with the 1.5 twist and just the small hop back. A great way to finish her World Championships.
Precise round off. Lovely extension actually through the ankles. That was a very good picture on the board. The classic textbook landing. See, she has to lift off the hands so she can punch that board. Nice straight arms.
Sugahara goes into fourth, 14.033. Dos Santos, 13.233. Her dreams are over for this year. Well, what does the next few minutes have in store for Ellie Black and this crowd here, the Montreal Olympic Stadium? Will they see their gymnast hit gold here in the women's all-round competition? It's time to find out.
It is indeed, and just watch this first tumble. Only gymnast I've ever seen in the world do this. So round off flip, 2.5 twist, walk out into double back and make it look easy. Another big tumble coming up, handspring, double twisting front, immediate tuck front, just the pace. Good heights and landing on the leaps. Powerful, dramatic routine. Turns smoothly. Double twist. Well, she couldn't have done that very much better. Lifted by the crowd. Tremendous performance there from Ellie Black.
Everybody is on their feet here, and everybody is willing, the judges, to give her over 13.5, because that's what she needs. She thanks the crowd for their support, and my word, give her a roar in return, because what a storming competition she has put on here, and she will gather respect from every single gymnast here, including Morgan Hurd, who has pushed her all the way.
Well, 13.433 in qualification.
And for me, this routine was better than qualification. There's the very difficult first tumble, the 2.5 twist into the double back, the smallest little pace. She's very cleverly put this routine together, using connections. There's the double twist into the punch front. Only has 3 tumbling lines, so that automatically reduces the amount of deductions that the judges can take off you. The double twist to finish, and there's the ending coming up.
Well, 13.6 would see her clear.
The nervous wait to see how the judges...
Surely it's got to be a medal, but what colour? 13.433, Ellie Black, second. As it stands, there is your champion, but there are still 2 gymnasts to go. Just 0.1 in it. Wow.
And here's the one that replaced Regan Smith, opening tumble, the double tuck, just a small step back. The only remaining competitor for this all-around competition. To full him back out. Have to show the spins. 3 elements are leaps, jumps or spins, so here she's doing some more. And then 3 elements have to be acro, and then it's your choice for the other 2. The front semi walk out to get her forward tumble into the double twist. The 2 leaps connected together. Just one more tumble to finish this routine off. Using the powerful double pike and the hop back. A great championships for her, considering she came in at the last minute's notice.
And good, actually, to see a Romanian on the floor.
Nina Durwell, the end of the vault runway, this, her final piece of apparatus.
Approaches well, lifts high, just the full twist in the straight position. Very nice performance, not such a high tariff as many of the others, but she's really performed stylishly and impressed many this championships. There's the tariff, 4.6, but it's nicely performed right down the middle, on the line. Lovely body shape.
(13.533) keeps her in 7th place. So Morgan Hurd still leading. Ellie Black 2nd and Elena Aramina 3rd.
So just my Makrami to go.
She needs a score of 14.7 or more, which I think is very difficult task. She did a great routine in qualification and scored a 14.2. But who knows, she might up her difficulty.
Yeah, but she could sneak a medal. She could sneak a bronze here. Murakami, after a fall on beam, what a performance it would be to get a medal in that situation.
Well, top qualifier on floor. Just a little step out of that quad spin. Super double-double into the jump. 0.1 extra for that. Floats the double straight. That's a landing. And there's the forward tumble, 2.5 front full, very difficult combination. Very quickly whipped round that turn. Nice control on the spin. Come on, another solid landing, and it is. Wow, that was some special floor.
So intense, wasn't it? She put everything into that.
Really, such a different style to so many of the other gymnasts, but really a joy to watch.
A brilliant routine. I mean, she added that jump after that first tumble in, which she didn't do in qualification, so that increases her difficulty. Here you can just see the spin. Didn't quite perform it as well as she would have hoped, but then the rest of the routine was faultless. Here's the big tumbling pass, double straight, textbook landing. Very well executed routine. Here's the 2.5 twist into the full twist. Again, in qualification, she only did it into the half twist, so that will pull up her difficulty. It's going to be a nervous wait for those top three.
Well, she is the last to go. So are we going to see a number 3, the left-hand side of this scoreboard? Yeah, Morgan Hurd still doing the fingertip thing in anticipation.
You just never know until a score comes through.
Great to see such different gymnastics, though. Gymnasts of such different style. And of course, USA have dominated for so long that it would be a real big shock to have a different country at the top of the leaderboard. And it looks at the moment like Morgan Hurd's carried on the dynasty.
Well, it's Morgan Hurd 1, Ellie Black 2, and Elina Eremina 3 at the moment.
She's the only one that's gone through. All the others have had little falters here and there. Eremina on bars didn't have the routine that she would have hoped for. Ellie Black on beam, and obviously Japanese on beam as well.
It's a 4th place finish, 14.233 for Murakami. So Morgan Hurd is the new all-around world champion. Ellie Black takes silver, and Elina Eremina from Russia takes the bronze. What an all-round final we've seen here. It was a special one, Chris.
It was very special, and delighted to see Eremina up there as well. She's such a classical gymnast, but fantastic for Morgan Hurd.
And you can see what that means. It's her first World Championships She takes gold as the finest all-around gymnast in the world. And emotion, because history has been made for Canada. It's the first all-around medal for them. And Russia are back on the podium.
You could see Morgan when she just wanted someone to celebrate with when she was looking round, ran straight over to her coach. She couldn't see it on camera, and he just gave her the biggest bear hug.
She will be iconic, will Morgan Hurd.
She will indeed. But she fought all the way for that. You know, it wasn't a walk in the park for her at all. She had to fight from the word go. But all credit to Ellie Black as well. She raised her game.
Just 0.1 between gold and silver. 1.4 between first and third. But Maya Murakami as well, we've said, of course, that fourth is the hardest place to finish, but what a performance she did. And we said, you know, she had a fall on beam. There she is in fourth, but there's confirmation of your 1, 2 and 3. Morgan Hurd, the new all-round women's champion. Ellie Black takes silver, and Alina Aramina takes the bronze back to Russia. Great Britain's Amy Tinkler finishes 17th. She scored 11 on bars, so her competition didn't finish the way that she'd planned, but the first 3 pieces, super job from Amy Tinkler.
It was indeed. We didn't actually see the bar routine, but she probably would have had a couple of falls for that score.
Well, there's still lots more gymnastics come here from Montreal. Later on today, you can watch the highlights from tonight's competition from 1:15 on BBC One. And you can join us live on the red button from 6 p.m. for the start of the apparatus finals to see hot favourite Max Whitlock hoping to retain his pommel title, and, of course, Courtney Tulloch in action on the rings. But what a women's all-round competition. We said at the start it could go either way. It went the way of Morgan Hurd, who is the new women's all-around champion. But fair play to Ellie Black here in front of the home crowd in Montreal. Alina Aramina, she takes the bronze. Thank you to all the team here, and we hope you can join us soon enough for more gymnastics here from Montreal. Goodbye from all of us.